Hey guys, Ncaa 31 here, bringing you NCAA 14. Game's been out for about a week and a half. I figure it is time to fire up Notre Dame for a friends list online game with a rough draft of my custom Ncaa gun spread offense / air raid offense and 3-3-5 stack with my Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the atrocious uniforms. So here we go. A lot of things to get to. As far as the game overall, the game for me is, in my view, one hell of a fun time. One really quality fun time. How do you know that you have a game that's a substantial improvement from the year before or even what we've seen from Madden 13? Well, one way to tell is if the game makes you not want to put the other game back in your console. The OS Vets Online Madden franchise that I've been a part of, that's been 4 or 5 seasons strong, has ground to a halt. It's at a complete standstill. No one wants to play the game anymore since this has come out. The game is substantially better than what we've been playing. And it's such a difference that no one wants to go back to play Madden 13. Once we got back to playing Madden 13, we were like, ugh, we gotta play this? No. But you know, with that being said, is it a flawless game? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. One of the big areas of conversation on the Utopia NCAA strategies forum, probably the biggest area of conversation, has been around the defense. And rightfully so. Defense this year is very, very challenging. I've gotten to a point where I've settled into how to play decent defense. I've had a string of good defensive performances. I've had some not so good defensive performances. But overall, once I've settled into what I want to do and how I want to do it, it's come together pretty nicely, but it's not easy. It is very user intensive. If you're not someone who is competent at usering a player that's not on the defensive line, you're going to have some issues. You're going to have to be someone who's very adept at manual adjustments and damn near perfect at play calling. Here's the thing with playing defense in this game, and in EA football historically, because what happens is that every year the offense is given a rocket launcher, and we're left with the same old 6-shooter that we've always had. When was the last time defense actually got equal time or something new and innovative? It's been a very long time. Probably not since Hitstick. And that was what, 8 years ago? Nearly 10 years ago now? But every year, the offense gets a lot of bells and whistles that leaves us trying to keep up with these antiquated defensive tools. So what ends up happening? You end up in an online game where you're concerned about using the middle of the field with a linebacker or a safety, and then you're hot routing a guy into a spy, changing a blitzer into a hook or a pink zone, and then worrying about your user. And often this is all on the same play, and that's just too much. It's just way too much for the user to have to worry about and stress himself out over first calling the right base play, then being good on the controller, and then making a million adjustments to the defensive play call to generally stop something that should be relatively simple, or at least not nearly as user intensive to deal with. That's a major problem because, again, it's a combination of the offense getting all the bells and whistles while the defense remains pretty much unchanged. We still have issues where routes get clean releases off the line of scrimmage. out of some formations, mainly because of defensive alignment issues, and you have to reposition a guy to get him to line up properly, and stuff like that. So that's an issue that I find personally very annoying on the defensive side of the ball. It just puts a way too much stress on the user to have to do way too much to counter things that shouldn't take that much effort. Offensively, the run blocking, very little complaints about that. The passing game, while they've toned down the lead passing, which is something that really needed to happen, they seem to have, to compensate for that, jacked up default accuracy. The default accuracy is way too high. Every game I'm going 23 of 25, 17 of 20, 15 for 18. And my opponent the same way. I'm getting my fair share of stops, turnovers, forcing field goal attempts, even forcing a guy to punt the ball once or twice. But it seems like no matter whether it's a game like this where I've taken control of the game and it's an easy victory, or whether the game is tight, it seems like everyone is completing a high percentage of their passes. The ball is rarely touching the ground. Speaking of touching the ground, you see a turnover or a near turnover on the option pitch. So those are the real main glaring issues of concern or deficiencies in the game overall. The Infinity engine isn't perfect. It certainly causes some glitched out moments in the game, but overall it's a marked improvement from the Madden 13 version. When you're running in and through traffic at Madden 13, your back had an excellent chance of pretty much just flopping to the ground. He now at least fights and balances himself. And overall, the defensive line battle with the offensive line and pass rush and run situations is a lot more noticeable, a lot more impactful. You can certainly tell the difference between strong, powerful, dominant defensive linemen and defensive fronts as opposed to ones that are easier to push around. And it really helps make the game more free-flowing on both sides of the ball. And probably my favorite part of the game is that there's no really style of play that you can't play. For me, balance is the big thing. I want things to be as balanced as possible between offense and defense without too many overpowered elements. And I like the fact that you can run an under-center based offense. You can run spread if you wish. You're not really pigeonholed into a style of play because the game mechanics don't allow it. Defensively, you kind of have to, amend that a bit and play a lot more conservatively than you'd want to, maybe, in order to prevent you from getting laid all over the field. But even then, you still have the ability as a user to have some freedom with what you're trying to do. But again, I can't stress enough on defense that it's really, it's going to come down to how good you are on the controller in order to have a chance. And I'll be doing videos on the 3-3-5 stack and the 4-3 Tampa 2, as well as my offensive videos as I'm deep into custom playbook mode, my run and shoot and spread offense. So, overall I'd give the game somewhere between a 8, 8.5 or so. Game's got a lot of offers, got a lot of fun factor, having a blast playing it, and really for the most part you get the most bang for your buck out of this game, and in my opinion any sports game, playing among a sound community of people, and there's a lot of them out there. I'm a part of several forums of great guys who aren't into glitch ball, lobby ball, exploit ball, and all that good stuff. Online ranked games, we know what we're getting in that environment. If you go into that kind of setting expecting anything other than that, then at this point, then quite frankly, I don't really know where your head has been at. But really, there's a whole heck of a lot of fun to be had here. And I'm looking forward to bringing you guys plenty of online league content and my usual strategy breakdowns and all that good stuff. And I will talk to y'all later. Hope you guys enjoy. Peace.